Introducing first, in the corner to my left, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Trent Knight. His partner, from Tampa, Florida, David Heath.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the City of the Angels, please welcome Tony Rogers and Bobby Fulton, the Fantastic.
There's Bobby Fulton, Tommy Rogers making their way to the ring. Former two-time United States Tag Team Champions. They wanted me to be especially sure to say hello to the great fans in New Orleans, Louisiana, as the Fantastics, along with all the other great stars, the NWA, on their way back to the Crescent City for the greatest wrestling ever. It occurred in New Orleans, Louisiana, and the NWA on its way back. Still to come, those highlights from Chicago as Ricky Steamboat became the new world's heavyweight champion. We're going to show you those exclusive highlights right here on Worldwide Wrestling, still to come in the hour. And don't forget, next week, highlights from the event where Lex Luger became the United States heavyweight champion, and the big battle between the Road Warriors and the Varsity Club. That coming next week here on the program. But as I mentioned, a day that Ricky Steamboat will never forget. You'll be able to live it with him in this hour of Worldwide Wrestling. Trent Knight starting off against Bobby Fulton, collar and elbow tie-up. Knight's fireman carry takeover on Bobby Fulton, and Knight showing a lot of confidence here. Trent Knight, rapidly improving youngster here in the NWA with a tremendous amount of potential. Another collar and elbow tie-up. Bobby Fulton with a wrist lock. He and Tommy Rogers, indeed, tag team specialists. As a matter of fact, we mentioned the great state of Louisiana. It was there in 1985 that the Fantastics became a unit. It was there that they became a well-oiled tag team machine. And they are, as I said, very excited about the big event the NWA will be having in New Orleans in the next few days. Great tag team move. When we talk about tag team specialists, we mean basically that these men, about 95% of the time you see them, they will be in a tag team event. Fantastics are really reminiscent of a fast-breaking basketball team. They like to kick it up and down the floor, and they like to get it on in a ring. They're not going to beat anybody size-wise. That's not their forte. What they lack in size, they certainly make up for in skill and tag team wrestling expertise. David Heath tags in. And he is in a very precarious position there by Bobby Fulton's got him up in almost in an airplane spin-like position, but falls away with him with a slam. And here comes, perhaps it is indeed the Fantastic block. And Rogers has got David Heath pinned. What a victory.
And your winner is the Fantastic!
Introducing first, to my left, Dave Heath and Chris Proctor. Their opponents, the Iron Sheik and Rip Morgan.
Will you take a look at Rip Morgan? There he is with the New Zealand flag draped around him, but take a look at that headdress. Can you believe the big Iron Sheik has got him, the Iron Sheik going across with that Iranian flag staff. Pound Chris Proctor right back in the back of the head with it, and down he goes. What a way to get it started. We were trying to point out to you that the goofy New Zealander, huge Rip Morgan, was wearing that Iranian headdress that the Iron Sheik had him decked out in. We've got the team of Chris Proctor in the ring right now against David Heath. And now it's the Iron Sheik putting up those pointed curl-toed shoes. Slams the head of Proctor right on him. And in comes the big New Zealander. This goofy guy is in great company when he joins with the Iron Sheik. He misses the big elbow, but it doesn't take him long to change it back to his favor as he picks Proctor up, drives him down to the mat, and then pounds in with that arm. Big team, the team of the Sheik and Rip Morgan. Hey, again, we'd like to remind you that this coming Wednesday, we're going to be over and looking forward to seeing all of the NWA fans in Little Rock, Arkansas at Barton Coliseum. That's my old hometown. As a matter of fact, I was born there at one time. But I also got to tell you that I am thrilled on what is, well, we could use a lot of superlatives regarding it, but I promise you, the NWA coming into the Mid-South Coliseum this coming Thursday, that's the 20th, with one of the greatest cards that I've ever seen. I know that takes in a bunch. It sounds like, oh, it can't be true. You wait. We'll get into all of it sometime later on. But that's Wednesday night in Little Rock, and I am looking forward to seeing you coming up Thursday in the Mid-South Coliseum. It's homecoming time. First time I've been in the Coliseum since joining the NWA. Right now into the ring for the first time is David Heath, and he was treated rudely by the Ripper. Rip Morgan stomping down with that huge foot of his back to the corner. The tag on the Iron Sheik. The Iranian former Olympic champion moves into the ring, picks Heath up, belly to back suplex, dumps him down, and he may be going for the camel clutch. Oh boy. Stepping in there, and if he can get it on him, can I tell you, it is all over but the counting, Prince. He's got it. This will end up in a submission as referee Tommy Young says ring the bell, and that's going to be it. What a sensational win for the Iranian and the New Zealander. Hey, let's stay tuned right now for the Western Union instant replay coming up in just a moment. Dana?
The Iron Sheik and Rip Morgan.
Watching the Western Union instant replay, you saw how the Sheik slipped in all night, slipped in with a belly-to-back suplex, banged him down, then positioned him where he wanted him, and starts to move into that camel clutch. And can I tell you, think about 270 pounds sitting down on your spine and pulling up on the chin and all. A lot of trouble that the Iron Sheik has been in, but he knows how to get out of it. But no one can get you out of a jam like Western Union. Believe me, the fastest way to send money.
Big-looking little coward in the New World Order, but he's in there against a master chess player, and as fast as Six is, and the man does have very good coordination and great balance, he does not have the experience as the dirtiest player in the game, but he will learn the hard way.
You know, Six reminds me of the kind of guy, you know, when you were in school area, like 4th or 5th grade, the one kid that would always go up to you, slap you in the face, and the minute you got ready to punch him back, his two bigger friends who were bigger than everybody else came up and backed him up.
Nobody ever slapped me in the face.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, when you would watch the other kids get slapped. Or you would slap the other kids, who knows? But that's who Six
I
is.
slapped him, but I never had anybody standing behind me.
Let's see if Six can do it by himself. Let's see if Six can go mano on mano against Ric Flair without Scott Hall and Kevin Nash coming in to back up his mouth.
You know, that's the problem Lex Luger's going to have. I mean, Hollywood Hulk Hogan accepting the challenge, putting the Holy Grail on the line. That's the foundation of the New World Order. Tells me definitely has a trick up his sleeve. I mean, we got New World Order cowards up and down the entire pay-per-view.
We'll talk more about what's going to happen at Road Wild on August 9th. That's coming up later today, but the living legend is, of course, right, as he always is. The New World Order have their fingers in almost every match announced thus far for Road Wild. More on that later on. Right now, Dave Heath with a cover on Chris Jericho, and Jericho barely gets that left foot across the bottom rope to break the count.
Too close to the ring ropes again. Inexperienced mistake here. You dump somebody, always know your ring positioning.
Baseball slide by Jericho into a nice reverse enziguri that drops Dave Heath.
Okay, stay on Heath now. See if Jericho can maintain the offense here, and he nailed him.
Elbow by Jericho drops Dave Heath. Scoop slam in the center of the ring. Jericho into the ropes. Step over. Springboard moonsault from the center rope. And now Jericho, I was going to say he was wasting time, but he's going right up top. High-risk maneuver coming up, legend.
Well, Heath is wobbly. He's eyeing him up. Bam, he nailed him.
Drop kick from the top. Cover. Hooks the leg in 3. The Cruiserweight champion gets another notch in the win column over Dave Heath today on the Pro.
Well, at least it's nice looking at Jericho knowing he's the Cruiserweight champion and not some disgusting little greasy coward like Six, who reminds me of a very short version of a tall greasy coward named Scott Hall.
Chris Jericho will once again get the Duke. Let's take a look at what went down earlier, legend.
Right there, right in the jaw. I mean, that sent Heath just to numb land, and right here getting up wobbly. Jericho took advantage of it. Just nailed him, knocked the wind out, and got the victory.
Continuing to reign over the Cruiserweight division in WCW, it's the winner, Chris Jericho.
This is a big moment for us. This is great to have Rey Misterio Jr. on WCW Worldwide Wrestling. Our fans in Southern California following his career.
Well, he's going to be on the big card out there at the Great Western Forum on the 28th of June.
Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, that's in a couple of weeks. And
that kid lost weight.
And you stop.
Sure used to fit him snug.
Our fans are coming out of the Great Western Forum. You know, Brain, we're all going to be out there. You're going to be there. I'm going to be there.
That's right.
We're going to try to prevent Lee Marshall from coming in the building, but that's a hard thing to do. Mike Tenay's going to be there. So there's Dave Heath. And so we look forward to seeing all of our fans on Saturday night, the 28th of June.
Look at the size difference here. Of course, he always gives away a lot, Mysterio.
Fans, we want to remind you that the Great American Mash pay-per-view is this Sunday. The event will originate from Moline, Illinois, at the Mark of the Quad, but the only way you can see this event is by making the appropriate telephone call right now. Call your local cable operator, satellite dish, or mini dish provider, and join us for the Great American Bash. Ric Flair, Piper together against Hall and Nash, Savage Page Part 2, and much more. The Great American Bash this Sunday, the 15th of June, and only on pay-per-view.
I would say this guy's about a head and a half bigger than Mysterio. Maybe 100 pounds heavier too.
Mysterio, that was a great move, but he couldn't get back to his feet.
Oh! Big man, whoever he is.
Look at Mysterio. Agility, shoulder block.
But you know, he's got experience, Mysterio.
Oh, yes, he does.
And he'll take any kind of a chance.
And he took one right there, Brain.
Oh!
Oh, my goodness! That probably should be a disqualification. Did he throw him over the top rope?
I think he lost and he slipped off. I'll tell you, this Mysterio's taking a beating over since the time he's been here at WCW. Probably had more ice on him than you know what.
Then a chilled bottle of wine.
No, I was thinking more of a Zamboni.
A pickup. Yeah, this guy, Heath, is using his size advantage. And he's having a good match here. He's right.
He's holding back a little here. You can't hold back with that guy, Mysterio.
Oh, boy. the bottom rope catapult that time.
My throat hurts, amigo.
Cover 1, 2. Sound effects supplied by the Brain.
What he's saying.
Amigo, my throat.
How long is it going to take you to come from your estate in Beverly Hills to the Great Western Forum in Inglewood on the 28th? Would you stop by the hotel and pick me up in your limousine?
Tony, there's no CAB written on the side of my car, pal. You're going to have to get there your best way. You see that thumb you got there? Yeah. Put it out in the curb. See what happens.
This thumb right here?
The longest thumb I've ever seen.
Look at our great fans on hand on WCW Worldwide Wrestling. Rey Mysterio has had to fight from behind here. And he's doing it again.
And he'll crush you, no doubt about that.
Mysterio.
There's a lot of fight in that package there, pal.
Well, you're not kidding. Where it comes from, I don't know. But a running lariat.
You know, this Heath, with a little more preparation, he could have had this match. I bet if he'd have known who his opponent was and prepared for it, because he's a big guy and he's taking it to him.
Yeah, he's wrestled a good match here, but he's been, as you said, Brain, very methodical.
You don't want to be too methodical with a guy like this. Now, you don't want to go up there or let Mysterio get up there. He's so quick. Wasting his time a little much.
That's going to change this match around.
Could change your weekend around.
Up on top is Mysterio.
Oh!
1, 2,
he got him! A hard-fought win, no doubt about that.
Rey Mysterio Jr. proving once again that perseverance, determination, and heart wins out. Yes, you can. Go ahead. We'll talk to him later. And as we look at our fans appreciating what happened there, we go to the Brain for our replay.
Mysterio goes up here on top. His opponent, Mr. Heath, turns around, takes him off over that top rope. Crash landing he didn't want to take. Referee position for the 1-2-3 count. Your winner, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Still to come, Public Enemy and Tag Team action, and Chris Jericho, La Parka. Right now, let's go to this.
World War III will be the 23rd on pay-per-view. Legend, call your cable company or satellite provider. 60 men, 3 rings, the winner. One guy is going to come out of that conflagration of bodies in 3 rings and get a shot in February at the world title. Now, will that shot be against Hollywood Hulk Hogan, or will it be against Sting?
That's kind of a loaded question, Scott. I mean, either way, the man who walks out of World War III will be a winner. He's going to wrestle for the heavyweight championship of the world. Of course, we all hope he'll be wrestling Sting.
Oh, yeah. I try to maintain some objectivity here, Legend, but in that one, I got to tell you, I am pulling 100% for the Stinger. I want to see Sting just kick Hogan up and down the streets of Washington, D.C. And speaking of that, Legend, here is the big announcement we talked about earlier. This Saturday, November 15th, tickets go on sale in Washington, D.C. for Starrcade 97 at the MCI Center. It will be December 28th. Tickets go on sale this Saturday at all Ticketmaster outlets and the U.S. Air Arena box office in D.C. Hogan and Sting, once and for all time at Starrcade 97 on the 28th of December.
And I tell you, I'm sure Sting's ready for this. He's had over a year of mental preparation of playing that human game of chess with the New World Order to get Hollywood Hulk Hogan to sign the dotted line. Believe me, Sting will be ready for Hogan. This will be the event.
This Saturday, it is going to be madness in Washington, D.C., and I'm sure the phone lines at Ticketmaster will be heating up. Something fierce when you can get your first shot for tickets for Hogan Sting at Starrcade.
Well, and Rocco got the first shot here, went down, came back up, nailed him, got it.
It's Todd Griffith and Dave Heath taking on the Public Enemy. That was a nice clothesline from Johnny Grunge.
Almost like a draw play. Grunge just kind of waited in the back and saw his opening, and he just exploded in there. Tough to beat the Public Enemy. These guys, good tag team unit.
Still lots of tag team action to come on the Pro. Later on, we will see Hector Garza and Lismark Jr. take on El Dandy and La Parca in a battle of luchador teams. And in the main event, as we said earlier, the tag team titles on the line. Rick and Scott Steiner defending against Buff Bagwell and Scott Norton of the New World Order.
Maybe because they're brothers, I'll just buy one car. They can split it.
Oh yeah, you were there earlier. You made the promise at the top of the show. They're going to get cars. They may get 2 Geo Metros or something, but they're going to get a couple of cars.
A couple of Harley parts.
Well, that's almost a car. Hip toss by Johnny Grunge and Dave Heath.
Boy, bad thinking. He wanted to get the momentum off the rope, but he didn't look where he was going.
Cover by Todd Griffith. Got the count of 2 on Johnny Grunge.
Got to make the tag. Grunge isn't working his way over back towards Rocco, and he got caught.
They shoot Johnny in. Griffith drops it. Takes the big man down. The cover by Heath. Count of 1. Got only a count of 1 on Johnny. You know, after we finish up tonight in West Plains, Missouri, Legend, we're on the road to Memphis. I cannot wait for Nitro tomorrow night from the Mid-South Coliseum. Going to go to Field Street. Going to head over to Mud Island, Graceland, doing the whole deal. Then it's over to the Mid-South Coliseum for Nitro, where we will see Alex Wright in action. Chris Benoit on Nitro tomorrow night, and the Disco Inferno will grace us with his presence tomorrow night in Memphis.
Well, I'll be at the broadcasting stand with Shivani and Ixnay, and I still have something for Scott Hall to sign if he's got the guts. Last week, he walked right out on me, and Grunge couldn't hold him. We'll see if he's got maybe some courage somewhere.
Maybe Scott Hall can muster up a little bit of courage and accept Larry Zbyszko's challenge. That will all, I'm sure, go down tomorrow night in Memphis on Nitro. Todd Griffith now setting Johnny Grunge up, going to shoot Johnny across into the ropes. Knee right into the gut of Johnny Grunge, and that takes the big man down.
Well, I tell you, Grunge almost making this personal. He's not trying to tag Rocco, and that's the secret, and that's the same kind of emotional trauma we see Ric Flair in. I mean, he's acting emotionally, with Kurt Hennig, when he should be losing his mind. Grunge, you got to move him, but he's not going towards Rocco.
Russian leg sweep, and Johnny Grunge makes the cover, and I think he should have made the tag. He got a 2.5 count, but he should have made the tag to Rocco and finished it off.
He should be going now, but again, you get emotionally involved like Flair is with Hennig. Instead of using his brain, he's using his emotion.
Ric Flair, as we said at the top of the show, is out of control. Almost like Flyboy Rocco. Rocky is here, and he jumps in and takes Todd Griffith to the outside. Rocco now opening up on David Heath.
And Rocco's doing a smart thing. He knows Grunge didn't tag him. He knows Grunge is in trouble. He's got to make his move now.
Johnny Grunge, the legal man, into the neck breaker. Dave Heath being double teamed by the Public Enemy. Looks like the drive-by coming up, Legend.
Duck!
Where? Oh, you mean duck out of the way. The drive-by. Rocco, woo, right across the upper body. And the count of 3, and the Public Enemy marching toward the top of the tag team ranks with a victory today on the Pro.
Well, at least the tag team championships are around the way they deserve to be. Not Nash and Hall, but the Steiner boys.
They will be in action in the main event on the Pro, but coming up next, whoa, our first look at Lorenzo. That's still to come on the Pro.
Lorenzo, huh?
The action continues this week on Worldwide Wrestling. Along with the Brain, Bobby Heenan, Tony Schiavone here, and we have a big tag team match, and still to come, Lex Luger and Scott Flash Norton one-on-one. Well, Jimmy Hart sends in 2 of the most feared men in our sport, Ming and the Barbarian. They're awesome.
How would you like those two walking up your walk at your home? Not knowing what they're there for, just see them just come up, start up the drive. Well, you'd hear people packing their bags real quick and loading the car, wouldn't you? They mean business.
So you can imagine what fear they put in the hearts of opponents. Michael Nova, there he is, and Dave Heath, the opponents for Ming and the Barbarian. in our next matchup here on Worldwide Wrestling.
Well, you're going to see some big men do some very powerful things, I believe.
Fans, that reminds us that coming up, Super Brawl 8 from the Cow Palace in San Francisco. The event is on Sunday, February 22nd at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. The event is available on pay-per-view. Satellite dish owners, contact Turner Premier on the Dish Network. If you have DirecTV, available with Direct Ticket. One way or the other, this is one you don't want to miss. A lot's going to be decided. A lot will be going on. More information next week on Super Brawl 8 on Sunday, February 22nd. Don't miss it.
Can you imagine both of them giving you a headbutt at the same time? Oh, look at the altitude Ming gets in that air. He's right up there.
He's a spectacular athlete. You know, we talk so much about how mean they are and how they don't feel pain. Let's not discount what they can do, what they can accomplish in the ring. There's more to Ming and the Barbarian than just brawlers.
Oh, no doubt about that. And the reason they have that brawling tendency is the way they were raised and their lifestyles. You know, it was feast or famine. Everybody had to fight for whatever they wanted there on the island.
And the way it looks,
the way of life.
Yeah, the way it looks for these two guys, feast or famine, they did the feasting.
Oh, yes.
What they're doing on opponents now here in the ring, as they are truly still one of the top contenders for the World Tag Team Championship. And Ming to the midsection of Dave Heath, and now the Barbarian in. You know, they are so confident that they really trust each other. And you've seen a lot of tag teams, even brother combinations, to the point now, like the Steiners, where they can't trust each other. But Ming and the Barbarian with Jimmy Hart have this mutual trust for each other. And that's helped them a great deal in their efforts to become tag team champs.
Well, you know, people from Samoa and Tonga and Fiji around there, they're very family orientated and they're very close people. And if they trust you, there's nothing they won't do for you. And if they don't trust you, well, there's a good chance you wind up with an apple in your mouth on a spit.
Tag, and here comes Ming, and here comes the double team. The double hammer that time by Ming and the Barbarian. Dave Heath nowhere to go but down. Ming will hold him up to be able to scoop slam him down. Ow! Shoulder breaker drives him down. 2, and amazingly enough, Heath kicked out of it in 2, got the left shoulder up.
You know what you want to see.
The Tongan death grip.
Yeah, is that what we want to see? I don't think that's what Heath or Nova want to see. But they may be seeing it. There's a nerve hold on the trapezius. You know, and that hold right there, as well as the Tongan death grip, is evidence, and all wrestlers will tell you that Ming has the strongest grip, the strongest hands in our sport. So it makes that Tongan death grip so lethal.
Plus, he terrifies you. And he beats you up pretty good before he puts it on you.
Heath makes a desperate tag to Michael Nova, and this young man, Michael Nova, who
is in trouble,
who is being outweighed by seemingly 800 pounds, is in the clutches of the Tongan death grip.
Oh, yeah.
And the kick of fear. Down goes.
Look at Ming. Look at Ming.
Heath, and Ming will pin Nova.
Get the chair in the whip.
With the Tongan death grip.
And he's digging in. He's not letting loose. Jimmy Hart, you better get him off him before something happens.
Go to the winner's circle one more time. They're showing you that the Tongan death grip is nothing but the thumb and the first 2 fingers. I mean, that's all he used.
Wow.
How strong the man is.
Double headbutt here by the Barbarian and Ming. Beautiful double teaming. Barbarian, very, very powerful man. Picks him up in the air and just drives him onto his knee. There's the Tongan death grip by Ming. This match is over. Good news, Ming. Good news, Barbarian. It's time for feeding.
Ming and the Barbarian, along with Jimmy Hart, the big win here on Worldwide. We come back, our feature bout, that's going to be Luger and Scott Norton, WCW against the NWO.